the guy who never misses. So if you are marked by Deadshot, that's why, he makes him such an interesting and deadly character in the DC universe, because people know that reputation that the guy does not miss. So if he's got a contract on you, you're in big trouble.
Deadshot is a complicated character because, unlike the other members of the Suicide Squad, he does have a reason to live, other than just the desire to live. He has a daughter that's out in the world that he's a bit estranged from.
I'm just looking for Zoe. Zoe!
The original beginning story showed that he had a son, and the son was used to make Deadshot do things against his will. And it turned out to be his mother pulling the strings behind the whole plot, right, to get him to finish the job that he never finished, which was killing his father. He had a child. He lost that child as a result of who he was, and then now he has Zoe, long-lost daughter he never knew by a different mother. And how has losing the son impacted the way he looks at the way he needs to protect and oversee Zoe?
He's still very much a villain. I mean, he's an assassin, he kills people, he's not a good guy. But he has this one redeeming quality, which is his love for his daughter, that occasionally allows him to make the right choice.
For Floyd Lawton, it's interesting how a tragic family backstory shaped him on a very different path than the way the family tragedy shaped Batman and Bruce Wayne. The character, when he first debuted, and he was more of the high society vigilante, so to speak, with the dual pistols and the top hat, when that went awry and he was ultimately thwarted by the Batman and put in prison, he had to rethink who he was and what his purpose was, right? And ultimately it was, I'm going to be the world's greatest assassin. I'm not a hero necessarily. I'm not true and just. I need to reinvent my look as well. And he then went with the scoped eye, and for the times, the more sleek costume, the silver and red. But over time, his looks had to evolve to be more technology-based, and that's where, you see now the gear that Deadshot has and the eyepiece being connected, and the wrist guns now having a high-tech element to it. He is the ultimate, kind of now high-tech militant assassin in the DC universe.
I'm here.
You are one lucky guy, Lawton.
Waller likes Deadshot because he is willing to kill for her.
It's a cold world.
He's willing to do the things that it takes to be successful in a mission, because other than his daughter, he doesn't have a lot of respect for life, his own included. He's not exactly foolhardy, but he's of the mind that if he did get killed on a mission, it would be a good death, because it wouldn't be just something mediocre like him, dying of old age, or he wants to be taken out in a bold fashion if he's going to go. So he's a perfect candidate for the Suicide Squad by most respects.
Hey, where you going?
I need to get some air.
It is interesting for a character who, prior to being part of the Suicide Squad, was more of that lone wolf character, but I think that he has interacted enough with the criminal underworld throughout his career that he saw the value in working with a team. I mean, obviously it wasn't always necessarily his choice because Waller put him in that situation, but I think, he being the lone wolf would rather be the leader of that and control the destiny, because he's that type of alpha. And I think that he's ultimately embraced the role of leadership almost by default.
Come on.
He's not a hero by any stretch of the imagination. He's definitely a villain. But he's a villain who has one sliver of light in him, and that's his daughter. Everything else about him brings death. I mean, his job, the people he's around, it's not like the rest of the Suicide Squad are all well-adjusted people. His daughter is his connection to this greater world of just being a normal person. And it's not a world he willingly wants to be in. His humanity is really tied to the fact that he has this daughter. And it conflicts with him, but it's something that motivates him as well to keep wanting to go forward and to keep surviving these missions and to somehow connect with her again.
Floyd, please,
His day job, so to speak, is just he is the world's greatest assassin. You know, whether he likes it or not, you know, that's what he's good at, and that's what pays the bills, and that's what ultimately is going to help him have Zoe have a better life than he had.